And let's get on with the details now. The Supreme Court has, by a majority decision, ruled that former President John Dramani Mahama did no wrong in granting a presidential pardon to a radio show host and 2 others convicted of contempt. The 3 were handed a 3-month jail term after they were found guilty of contempt. Then President John Mahama, however, pardoned them after they had served 3 weeks in custody. The Supreme Court today affirmed that pardon following a case filed challenging it. The court has meanwhile set January 16, 2019 to rule on the case challenging the construction of the National Cathedral. There's more in this report.
And so I did exactly what the Constitution said I should do. I referred it to the Council of State, and the Council of State came back to me and recommended that I exercise my powers under 72, not in terms of pardoning them. They remain convicted, and that's what a lot of people do not realize.
Then President John Dramani Mahama justifying his decision to pardon Alistair Nelson, Godwin Akogan, and Salifu Mase, who were part of a political talk show on Accra-based Montie FM. Current Executive Secretary at the Office of the President, Nana Santi Bedietuo, together with 2 other legal practitioners, Elikulim Agbemeva and Alfred Yeboah, in 2016, filed a case at the Apex Court challenging the pardon granted the 3 individuals. One of the reliefs they were seeking was an order directing the 3 individuals to be rearrested to serve the remainder of the jail term handed them by the Supreme Court. The 7-member panel, by a majority 5-2 decision on Wednesday, held that the president did no wrong in granting the pardon to the 3 individuals. It stated that the power of the president to grant pardons could not be questioned by the highest court of the land, aside from the fact that that power covers criminal contempt as well. Elikulim Agbemeva, one of the plaintiffs in this matter, has been speaking to pressmen about his reaction to the decision of the highest court.
I'm a bit disappointed because I was seeking that discretionary power, in this country should be kept, because if somebody has a power and is going to exercise that power and we don't know the circumstances under which that power could be exercised, then we are deprived of certainty. We don't know how the law works, but obviously Supreme Court thinks that the old position, which says that subsidiary legislation is not needed in the exercise of discretionary power, it still holds, and we respect that decision.
The decision by the court brings an end to the more than a year-old legal dispute. Another case that came before the Supreme Court has to do with the construction of the National Cathedral. Now, the Supreme Court has set January 16th to deliver its judgment in the case. It allowed lawyers in the case to make their closing arguments. Lawyer for the CPP Director of Elections, Dr. Abdul Basit Bamba, made the point that it was important for the Supreme Court to hold that Ghana must at all times be religiously neutral. Deputy AG in his closing argument, however, stated that nothing bars the state from offering such support to religious groups. It remains to be seen what exactly the decision of the court will be, but that will become known on January 16th, 2019. Reporting for JoyNews from the Supreme Court, my name is Joseph Akable.